Here at Headlight Revolution, we just got done doing a ton of LED headlight bulb testing, and one of the top performing bulbs that we reviewed out of the hundreds we did is the XenonDepot Xtreme LED Pro. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install it in your 2019 Ram, and more importantly, what it looks like against the wall compared to the stock low and high beam these trucks came with. So let's get started. Now, one of the first things we need to do to get these original bulbs out of here is we need to remove the air box on the passenger side. And to do that, you can use a 5/16 socket or a flat screwdriver. Go ahead and loosen this hose clamp right here. Go ahead and slide the clamp off, like so. And at this point, the air box is going to lift up and out of the vehicle. Go ahead and lift up on it just like so, and set it off to the side. Now, thankfully, for a 2019 vehicle, there's not a ton of disassembly involved. We're already able to get to the dust cover for our headlights on this side. You can reach in just like so. It's a little bit of a reach, but trust me, you can do it. Go ahead and reach in and turn the dust cover counterclockwise to remove it. You'll feel it loosen up and pull toward you. Try not to drop the cap down in the wheel well. That's no fun for anybody. And now we can reach in there and remove our stock bulb. Go ahead and squeeze the little tab on the base of the bulb and remove it just like this. The tab connects here, and you can just press down on it and pull it toward you to remove it. Now, we won't be needing this bulb anymore. Now here's an up-close shot of the XenonDepot Xtreme LED headlight bulb compared to the factory halogen bulb. And one thing you're going to notice is it's not actually that much different size-wise compared to the factory halogen bulb. And that's one of the best parts about the XenonDepot Xtreme LED headlight bulb. It'll fit just about anywhere. And today, if you've looked for LED headlight bulbs on the market, you're gonna know that there are a lot of them out there that are giant. You've got a lot of big fans, big heat sinks, whether or not they're passive or fan cooled, doesn't really matter if it's huge and doesn't fit your headlight. This headlight bulb here fits just about everything. It's also clockable, which in this application we didn't have to adjust it, but on some headlights you do. So if you're watching this and you don't have a 19 Ram, maybe you've got a 07 to 13 GMC truck, you will definitely need to clock this bulb. This LED headlight bulb allows you to do that. Another nice part about this particular bulb is being that it's passively cooled, you can spread these fins out, allow them to just cool in the air inside the headlight. And one thing we've noticed with the XenonDepot LED bulbs is they tend to have a pretty low failure rate. They're not driven as hard as some of the other bulbs on the market today. Granted, some of the other bulbs might be a little bit brighter, but they also tend to fail a lot sooner. If you want a bulb that you can just install in your Ram, set it and forget it, this is the bulb for you. So right out of the box, what you're going to discover is that these two plugs need to be connected. Go ahead and connect them just like so. And this end, this H11 plug, is going to go to your H11 PWM module. Go ahead and connect those like so. Now, this end goes to your factory wiring in the headlight, and this is the bulb that just plugs right in to where we removed that halogen bulb from. So we can finally go ahead and get that started. The first thing I like to do on these trucks is connect the factory wiring right away. Once we start stuffing all of these modules in there, it gets a little hard to get this plug back. So go ahead and plug it in. Take your PWM module and install it toward the bottom of the headlight. All of this stuff will fit in here and allow you to reinstall your dust cover just fine if you follow these steps. Go ahead and take the LED bulb driver and wiring and install that toward the bottom of the headlight as well. This is kind of the opposite of how you'd normally do this. Normally you install the bulb first thing and then put all the drivers and stuff in, but I found that this way works the best on these particular trucks. And finally, we can go ahead and take our XenonDepot bulb, install it into the headlight. It's as simple as inserting it and turning it clockwise to lock it in place. And once you've got it in place, you can bend the fins in, try to spread them out as much as possible so that they'll dissipate heat properly, and we can reinstall our dust cover. And it should look something like that when you're all done. As you can see, it's totally sealed just like it was from the factory. However, it's going to be a lot brighter. I like to do the hard side first, and trust me, that passenger low beam is no fun, but it's done now. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do the high beam, and the high beam, by comparison, is a walk in the park. The cap is right here, you can twist it counterclockwise, and it pops right off, as easy as that. No fender to work through, no nothing like that. It's right in front of you. Now this one is as simple as reaching in, twisting the bulb counterclockwise. They even give you a little slack to play with. Pull up on this little tab, and you can remove the bulb just like so. And just like we did with the low beam, go ahead and bring your new bulb in, connect it to the factory wiring. You can install the drivers down below where the headlight plugs in. And the high beam on these trucks actually does not need a PWM module, so that's nice. It saves you a little bit of effort, saves a little cost in the kit. With the driver and wiring tucked into the headlight, you can go ahead and install the bulb just like so. Now when you're in here, you're going to have to kind of push the wiring a little bit to the side to try to get everything to fit properly, but I assure you it does. And the best part is we're not drilling any holes, we're not passing any harnesses through, which means your headlight's going to seal like it did from the factory, and that's really important. You don't want moisture or anything building up in these headlights. Once it's locked in place, go ahead and spread the fins out just like I showed you on the other side. Try to fan them out as much as possible so that they dissipate heat properly, and go ahead and reinstall that dust cover. Just like that. Now, I showed you guys the hard side, where you gotta pull the air box out and you're working in the darkness in the fender. The driver's side is so much easier. All you have to do is remove two 10mm nuts here that hold these two grounds to the frame, and you'll be able to reach your hand back there and access the dust cover no problem. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Just like that. The grounds get pulled down just like so, and you're able to reach in here, swap the bulbs out real quick, nothing to it. So, I'm gonna run through this side real quick, get the install done, and we're gonna fire these things against the wall and show you guys exactly what you're getting when you do this XenonDepot upgrade. So we've got our 19 Ram pulled in the studio now, and we're firing it at the wall at about 20 feet. Now, what we're doing today is taking a lux reading. That's the usable light output. It is the best form of measurement when it comes down to finding out what LED bulbs are the best upgrade for you. And in this case, our lux reading came out at 720 on the low beam. This is the stock bulb. As you can see, the beam pattern's not super clean, super clear. We've seen better, but it's also not terrible. We don't have a ton of glare, and 720 lux isn't terrible. Let's see what the XenonDepot bulbs can do for us. Now we've got our XenonDepot bulbs installed in the low beam, and this came in at 1440 lux. Compared to 720, it is exactly double the original brightness. As you can see, we've got a really clean output still. It's not any worse than stock, and more importantly, we've got that nice clean white output. Now, one thing I want you to consider here is I did not adjust these headlights at all when I installed these bulbs. I put them in and fired it against the wall. And what you'll notice is the driver's side headlight was lower with the stock headlight bulbs than it is now. It's actually raised up a little bit. You'll see this sometimes when you swap LED bulbs into a housing without adjusting it. We've got a video on how to adjust your headlights. This is what will lead people to sometimes get flashed. If you just throw LED bulbs in and take off down the highway, you might find that your headlight position is shifted a little bit, and you might now be blinding oncoming traffic. So what I'm going to do is lower this down a little bit before it leaves the shop. Now let's head on over to high beam and see what that looks like. So we've switched our Ram over to high beam now, and that came in at 1730 lux, which is actually pretty impressive for a stock high beam. As you can see, our intensity jumped up in the middle, and we've got a little bit more light up top. Let's see what the XenonDepot bulbs look like. Now, as you can see, the XenonDepot bulbs in the high beam are definitely brighter. We came in at 2230 lux, which is up from 1730. Picked up a good amount of lux there, and we maintained the factory high beam pattern. We don't have any crazy artifacts on the left and right. We don't have any weird shapes or patterns. We've just taken the factory high beam output and amplified it. As you can see, those XenonDepot bulbs compared to what this truck came with from the factory are a tremendous improvement. Now, if you need anything else for your Ram truck, we've got the Morimoto XB LED fog lights in the front of this thing. They are phenomenal on the road, and we've got a video showing you how to install them and more importantly what they look like. We've got the world's brightest reverse lights on the market today for the 2019 and up Ram vehicles, and we've got everything else figured out too. So if you need anything else for your truck, visit our website, headlightrevolution.com. Reach out to us on Facebook, reach out to us via phone call or email. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.